Okay, well it's finally time to retire this old background and make a little bit of a change to the channel. And I'm going to use the opportunity as well to try and upgrade a few other parts. So goodbye to my old background. So this is the room that I'm actually going to be setting up the studio. I'm going to be fitting it out wall to wall, floor to ceiling, wanting to make it look something a little bit sort of special, usable, but also be something that I can really use for the channel here. So I'm going to show you some shots of the room as it is. This is the timber that I'm going to be using. This is the stuff that I bought from my local hardware that I'm going to be chopping up, putting together all these sort of bits and pieces. Now I've bought myself about 700 screws, so I'm hoping that's going to be enough for this project. You can see my the table saw there. That's what I'm going to be using for the vast majority of this project. It's going to give me those nice straight edges. You can see my old background in the corner there. I'm going to be utilizing that one just as a bit of a shelf. Okay, we're already into the build here. That is the first part of the project. It's now the next start of the project. You see that little space there? That's actually where I do my hands down shots. Then I want to put in a nice desk. That's a custom built desk for me so I can do my editing, which I'm sitting at right now. Next part, I'm going to put some drawers and things in there. The whole point of this thing is to make it user friendly, good for the studio, good for the sound, but also be able to have some more storage as well and bring everything from the channel and some other things from my life to actually bring it together. That there is some foam that I've built in behind the stuff that I'm building. Everything I build now, all these shelves, all these cupboards, I'm actually putting some foam so I can capture some of the sound. And I really wanted a few different options of storage as well. I wanted spots where I can put my books, like you can see out behind me here, but I also want some drawers. And I really wanted that desk to be built into the corner so that I can actually sit down and actually do all my editing and some of my sort of smaller shots there. You'll see there I've actually built some of the shelves. I'm doing some offset features there to try and create a little bit of a interest factor. So I can put my books in there as well as a few things from my life. You can also see there, I've sort of zoomed in just at the last moment there, showing that foam again. Well, it's all coming together now. It's almost coming to an end project here at this point. I wanted to fill up the wall there, put some stuff behind me, have all some of my favorite things from my life actually on display, whereas before they were kind of sitting in drawers and sort of just all over the place. I like being neat personally, so it's nice to be able to have a neat room. Also building some nice cupboards there, so again, not all the stuff that is going to be put into those shelves is actually going to be on display either. And here we are, final part of the build here. This is how it's all been looking now. This is how it is all looking now. All my books are in there, my hands down sections are in there, all my sort of bits and pieces are on display, and that's where I'm sitting right now at that desk in front of that brand new computer so I can do this editing. Hello and welcome to the new Watching James studio. This is a project that has been in my head for such a long time. A project that I've been penciling out, thinking about, planning for well over a year. And I wanted to do it for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I was ready to have a new background. I wanted to have a little bit more depth behind me. I wanted it to be slightly more interesting. I wanted it to be also a little bit more comfortable for me to sit here so I can do presenting. But I also wanted to build into this project a lot of sound dampening. In this room that I do film in, it has been a rather bit of a strain to try and make it soundproof or sound dampened, and it's been a bit of effort every time I record. Now, the sound dampening is actually built into the room. Behind me, in these cupboards, in these shelves that I have built, I've actually inbuilt foam in behind them, so it actually captures a little bit of that sound to make the sound quality a little bit better. But I've gone well beyond that, and I've actually given myself a lot more space to actually put things in place so that's a little bit more comfortable for me. It's given me a little bit more storage space for general stuff in my life as well. And it's also brought in all the elements that I put together for this channel into one room. Prior to these sort of new studio, I've had to sort of spread myself out a little bit. I've done my editing in one room, I've done the hands down videoing in another room, I've done my background shots like this in a different room, and it's taken a lot of effort, and it's been a little bit frustrating for me and making this whole process of creating content a little bit more difficult. By creating this room today, by creating this new studio for myself, I've made my life a little bit easier, but hopefully also increases the quality of the content. I've also put some money into upgrading some of my equipment. So I'm hoping that the sound is not just better just because of the sound dampening that I have built into the room, but I've also bought myself a brand new microphone that hopefully improves that sound. I've also bought myself a nice fancy computer, and I'm using now new editing software. So you're going to start seeing some little bit of changes in how the channel or how the content is presented. It's not going to change too much. It's just hopefully just going to be a little bit better. So that was just a quick video just to show you what I've been doing recently, why my studio has changed, why the background has changed, and why possibly the content is going to be a little bit different going forward from now. Thanks guys for watching. I do always appreciate it.